Economic collapse news. 750,000 people are being cut from food stamp. 14,000 soldiers are being sent to Iran war over the phone, or if you're cold calling them, if you're going to their home. I have the perfect course. It's a full day course. It's 7+ hours of training where you can listen to us talk to motivated sellers right over the phone. You get to hear what we ask, what questions we ask, how do we know if they're motivated or if they're not, how do we negotiate a takeover payment program, how do we negotiate to buy their house at 60 cents on the dollar minus repairs, aka wholesale price. How do we do all that? Okay, it's all live. You can listen to it. This is not pre-staged. These are live hot sellers, and there's all types of sellers out there. And we recorded the phone conversation with the sellers, and you can actually listen in live. So if you're interested, go to call.mrnofluff.com. Call.mrnofluff.com. These are live hot sellers, and there's all types of sellers out there. And we recorded the phone conversation with the sellers, and you could actually listen in live. So if you're interested, go to call.mrnofluff.com. Call.mrnofluff.com. Okay, let's get back to the story. Trump economy is as fake as his hair, guys. Hey, gang, this is Mike with Mr. No Fluff, and I'm here to bring it to you live. No fluff, no sugarcoating it. But seriously, guys, there's going to be civil unrest in America because look at the numbers. 750,000 people are going to be cut off from food stamp. Okay. Now, I'm not a really big believer of welfare state, but one thing that makes America great is that we have a welfare for the people that do fall off the horse, that need it for a short period of time. Okay. But but the problem is that the way the system is set up on welfare is they want to get people in and then hook them in without them, being able to leave. Till right now with Trump cutting welfare for almost 1 million people, guys, which is almost as big as many countries' military. So the question is, a couple of things. What's going to happen to these almost 1 million people, 750,000 people when they can't get food stamps? Okay. Most of these people are not even being counted in the job unemployment mathematics or formulas or charts. This is why I say Trump economy is fake, because in America, we make the statistics to favor the elites, favor the bankers, favor whatever politicians versus telling the truth. We're not in the business of telling the truth. Actually, the English language is meant for deception. One example is that I could say, I just bombed a lot of people and I killed a bunch of innocent people. Or I could say, we just did collateral damage, which sounds so much better than I just killed a bunch of innocent people. So the whole wording of English language is to distort the truth. And here's a great example, okay? So if the Trump's economy is so good and hot, then why are we cutting hundreds and thousands of people off the food stamp? Now, one side of the story says, well, people shouldn't be on food stamps, and I agree with you. People should get off their butt and go work, right? But what makes America great is to have that layer of security in case you do get up and go off your ass and work and you do fall down because your corporation masters are running business shady and then they go belly up like Enron, okay? Or you start a business and you go belly up. So it's good to have that safety mechanism in place. Now, I'm not a pro long safety mechanism because that inhibits growth, that inhibits creativity, that turns people into slaves, because just like the rat in the scientist maze or in the scientist cage, the more they ring the bell, the more they want the free cheese, the more they're willing to work. And the same thing is happening here in America because there's so many people that they're afraid to go get a job because they're going to be cut off from welfare. Okay, so we need to have a system where people can, get welfare, still have a job, so they could pull themselves out of this situation, and go to the next level. The whole goal is not taking to the next level. The whole goal is not to push them down into poverty and keep them there. Okay, and now we're having 750,000 food stamp cuts, which will, in my opinion, have a good possibility of having civil unrest in America. You can see civil unrest all over the world right now. Hong Kong, Iran, Iraq, Chile, guys, France, Spain. The list goes on and on and on, from Latin America all the way to the Middle East, all the way to the civilized countries, if you want to call it that. And the reason is because of central banks printing. Again, Trump's economy, they're printing so much freaking money, more than Obama, more than most of the presidents. They're printing so much money, guys, right? They just print it out. And what they're doing is building stupid walls. What they're doing is building fucking bombs, right? Versus helping the people at home, right? The people at home are bankrupt. Majority of people don't even have 400 or 500. Working class don't even have $400 or $500 in their banking account. 7 million people defaulted on their car. I just showed you just the other day on my YouTube channel where people are getting repoed, dude. I showed it to you live, dude. The cars getting jacked, right, by bankers. So if the economy is doing so good, we wouldn't be kicking off people off food stamps. Even though I'm not a very big favor of people on food stamps and Section O, because I believe people should get out and work, but I do believe in having some type of safety net, right? But what I want to bring out is that doesn't seem like a symptom of a rich country when they're booting off people that are on food stamps. That's same symptoms of being a broke country. A broke country, right? Just like if you have finances at home, when you start not having enough money, you start cutting off these bills and stuff. The same thing is happening here. Okay. Now, do we need reform in the food stamps and Section 8? Absolutely. But I also am a fan of it. But we also need reform so people in that section can take food stamps and have a job, have for a year, 2 years, to have enough savings, to build enough capital for them to be able to move out of that level to the next level for a prosperous America, prosperous people. Okay. Now, the other crazy thing is, guys, that 14,000 soldiers are being shipped to Iran, who knows, to Saudi Arabia. We already have 60,000 folks there already. So you add it all up, that's almost 100,000 soldiers, okay? That doesn't include all the other soldiers that we have all over the other parts of the world, guys. We have like over 180 bases all over the world in every country you can imagine. So why are we going to war? Well, think about it, guys. We're broke. I mean, we're broke. Our nation is a petrodollar nation. We have to get control of all the countries that don't want to have, you know, they don't want us to give us the oil. You heard the president say, we want people's oil. We want the country's riches. We want the riches of, Iraq. We want the riches of Kuwait. We want the riches of Latin America. There's so many Latin America has been invaded by corporations and the CIA and have stole their riches, guys. Think about it. Some of the most richest countries in the world, are now dead broke because of, our troop movements, our foreign policies. Again, this channel is not about politics, but it's about, the it's about having a better life for you and your family and everyone else in the world. And we can't do that through wars. We can't do that through bombs. We can't do that through tariffs. Those things just like if you're your own family, if you have a wife, you have a kid, and you push them around, you punch them in the face, you slap them, they're going to respond the same way. But if you show them love and you bring them up and you pat them and you're constantly telling them positive stuff, then there's a high likely of them reciprocating that to you. Just how life is, guys. Just how the energy works, right? I mean, this is how it is. So that said, we're about to go to war with Iran. I predicted that a while back. I also predicted a while back that we're going to see gas in America for $9 a gallon. We already see that in Europe, very close to $7. We see that in many parts of the world that are not gas producing or fuel producing economies. And very soon we're going to see that. And why do we have to go to war? Because we need the natural resources of Iran, because the dollar is losing value. We need the natural resources of Venezuela. The dollar is losing value. We need their oil. We need their resources, guys. And since we've been outsourcing everything you can imagine to China, now China's overcome us, because whoever is the producer, right, is going to eventually be the master, right? If you're the one in the gym producing kicks every day, then eventually you will be the master of the kicks. If you're in the factories producing cars, producing airplanes, producing CDs, everything you can imagine, from Apple to Track, your bicycle store manufacturer, then you're going to be the master of the universe because you're the producer. It just makes sense. For example, if I put your leg into a cast and you don't walk, you're not active with it, it'll atrophy, it'll get small, it will die, dude. But if we put the same exact, your opposite leg into a leg press machine and you're constantly doing leg presses, that other side will get stronger. And that's what happens with China. We used to be in America the powerhouse of production, guys. After World War II, powerhouse of production. Now, 50% of the population is obese. Seriously, guys, just look at the statistics. I'm not making this shit up. 66% of the population obese. Why are they obese? A, because very unsanitary work style, but more importantly, the food manufacturers are poisoning us with all this chemicals for them to have more profits. It's all about profits. Not only are we killing people in America because of profits, but we're killing people in Iran and Iraq and Saudi Arabia and so many different countries. Not Saudi Arabia, they're our allies, but you get what I'm saying. Because we want to suck their riches. We want to take their riches because we don't want to produce. And just like cancer, we are cancer. We're just growth, growth, growth. And just like your body, if you have too much cell that grows too much, it doesn't divide, doesn't share, then eventually becomes a tumor and it destroys the host. And the host is Mother Earth, for God's sake. It's Mother Earth that we're destroying. And right now, guys, if you go to the store, let me give you an example. I went to the store, I buy the most organic almond milk possible for my kid, right? And I thought it because it said organic. But, the other day I was looking at the ingredients and there's a bunch of stuff that's made in test tubes, right? Like test tube this and test tube that and things that I can't even pronounce because they're not natural. They're made in chemicals. I say, you know what, man? I told my wife, we got to just make our almond milk ourselves. And we start grinding it ourselves. Very simple. And it tastes so different. It doesn't have all the filling and the gum and the preservative this and the test tubes. And it's like, it doesn't strip all the nutrients. So we're living in a society where our corporations are buying congressmen, con with their money, and they're making laws in their favor. And we see that in our food. We see that in our medicine. We see that with the FDA. I mean, guys, all those guys are like the top FDA. They eventually, after they leave public work, they become the CEOs of top pharmaceutical companies. That's fucked up because these are the guys that are telling us this is okay, this is a good pill to take, and then people take it 6 years later, 10 years later, 15 years later, that pill caused massive cancer, massive heart attacks, massive other disorders. Meanwhile, the CEOs made billions and trillions in bonuses and commissions. The congressmen got a lot of lobbying money, and after they retire, they get to work for these top corporations. If it's from pharmaceutical companies, if it's from the uh, banking sector, if it's from the food production. I mean, come on, dude. You gotta fucking know that Monsanto is gonna kill you, dude. You gotta know that GMOs are gonna kill you and the planet. You gotta know that it's gonna make you sick. That's why a lot of smart countries don't allow that kind of crap that we eat in America here. But no one gives a damn because all it's about is profits. And the same way that the corporations are killing their own people in America by losing their jobs to cheaper work, which makes them not have money, by polluting their food with a bunch of GMOs, a bunch of chemicals, a bunch of test tube stuff that no one even knows about, by keep producing inferior products like Ford, GM. That's why they don't make cars anymore. Okay, by pharmaceutical companies poisoning us, brainwashing the medical field by making doctors only prescribe chemicals versus working out versus eating. I would say 50% of, I'm not a doctor, but it's my opinion for someone that had a degree in biology that was going to become a doctor, right? I took all the medical. I could tell you right now from my research that 50% of all the diseases in America can be cured or fixed or suppressed by just fucking working out, dude, by just eating right, by just drinking water versus some type of soda. 50%. Right? I mean, we got 50% of the population obese. We got 30, 40% of the population on psychological medicine, like, because they're feeling anxiety, they're feeling depressed. I mean, Jesus, right? That's what we're doing to our people here in America. And then at the same time, we're vaccinating the shit out of every kid that comes out. And then we have ADD and autism at all-time high, and cancer all-time high, and we're wondering where it's coming from, right? Well, think about the same people that are allowing this poison to happen to their own people. Look how they would treat all these other countries that they're not even their people. right? Like Venezuela, like uh, Guatemala. I mean, dude, just so many countries, right? In Latin America, in the Middle East. Look how many people we just dethroned and since Bush time, right? I mean, Bush Senior. I mean, the countries we killed, millions of people we killed. So what I'm trying to get to is you have to think for yourself. Because if you listen to Big Brother, if you listen to central bankers, if you listen to your teachers, they're all been brainwashed. They're all taking in those poisons, those chemical, shit. Even their multivitamins chemical because it's not naturally, it's made in test tubes. And therefore, it affects the way you think. It affects the way you believe. You feel separation is the way versus unity, right? Like I am the same as this tree, because without this tree, I wouldn't be here because the tree produces air. The tree produces lumber for me to live. My trade. I mean, so many different things, guys, are made from nature, right? Even the medicine we take are clones of what nature is, but in a test tube. So some pharmaceutical company can patent it and reap profits, where the test tube product has side effects where the natural one doesn't. But your doctor's not going to tell you that. The banker's not going to tell you that. The school system's not going to tell you that, because everyone's hooked into the system of raping me and you, all for the sake of printing more money, having more power, even though we're the powerhouse of the world. Every country in the world wants to be like America. They're dyeing their hairs, they're putting fake eyes in their eyes so they can have green, and bleaching their skin colors. Jeez. So there's not a stop. There's a cancer of consumption in America, cancer of power. And no matter if we're number one or not, we're number one, dude. I mean, Trump declares we have the number one economy, we have the number one military, but we still need more. See, that's a disease, right? And coming back to Trump economy is fake. Man, you've got to know it. This is not financial advice, but my opinion is fake as fuck. I mean, the stock market is not the real economy. Again, let me say that stock market is not the real economy. Stock market, in my opinion, is being rigged, is being manipulated like a dirty mafia poker game. You know what I'm saying? Like the casinos, dude. At least you have a better chance winning in the casino. But the economy's fake. Why? I mean, there's so many people that are not employed, but they're not even showing up in the statistics of unemployment. Okay, there's there's people that are in so much debt that they can't make it. The cities are in so much debt. The states is so much debt. The federal level is so much debt. They can't even pay their debt off. See, this is fake economy. We are having wars with the number one producer of our products. Listen to what I'm saying, man. Your phone, your laptop, your cup, your iPad, your clothes, your shoes, your socks, every freaking thing you can look at in your drawer. Go, I dare you now. Press pause. Go check it out. It's made in China. So now how are we beating them up? Because they became the manufacturer for us for cheap. Because we wanted that. We wanted them to produce it for cheap. Because we want to buy it cheap in America. Because wages ain't going up, but inflation's going up, right? Now, two things. Inflation is going up, and the Fed has just came and said, look, man, we're going to try to inflate more. I mean, forget about the dollar has crashed 90%, 98% over 100 years of creation, right? Forget about hundreds and thousands of millions of people in America are on food stamps. Forget about hundreds and thousands of people that have college degrees, that have 2 or 3 jobs, and they can't still make ends meet. Forget about the vets are coming back and committing suicide because when you kill other people, somehow it fucks up your soul. Forget about Flint, that they're having bad water. Forget about police brutality beating the shit out of your minority, right? Forget about that stuff. Forget about, you know, the mom and the dad have to work. Forget about that the mom and dad don't even get to see their kids. They got to put them into a school or a daycare so they can go fucking have 2 jobs to make ends meet, right? They don't forget about the people don't own their cars, they don't own their education, they don't own their homes. They got to work 30 years. Dude, a squirrel, a bird will make their home in like 30 days or less. But humans, with all their intelligence, with all their technology, it takes us 30 freaking years to pay off a home in America, the average person, right? And they never even get to pay it off, dude, because every 7 years they refinance or they use their home as an ATM or they buy a new home. So the whole system is dead based. The whole system is suppression on the working class, the working people, not only in America, but all over the world. And, Trump's economy is fake as his hair, guys. I'm sorry to tell you that, okay? The stock market is not right. You have all these dead companies making millions of dollars. You have people that have so much debt like Trump, but they're billionaires. I don't know how that works, dude. Okay, I mean, like if you subtract all your fucking debt minus the money you have, right, and your assets, then if it's negative, then you're a debtor. You're not a billionaire. Jesus. And we are living in a society where motherfuckers have all kinds of fancy, shiny stuff. They didn't pay for it. They don't even know how to save. They don't know how to work. They don't know how to create. They don't know how to sacrifice, but they have that shit. So we're living in a society of, you know, I'm sorry to say, the end of the dollar reserve, the end of the petrodollar, the end of us living so fucking good. We're on the Titanic and it's fucking sinking and no one is fucking telling you about it. And that's where we're at. Not only in America, we see that in France, we see that in UK, we see that in Latin America, in the Middle East. Everyone's singing to the same tune. And with 750,000 food stamp cuts, with war coming, man, there's probably going to be civil unrest even in America because with Trump impeachment, there's 50% of the population is divided. With fucking people can't make ends meet. Well, what do you think's going to happen, man? I mean, what do you think's going to happen? And guys, I don't want that. What I want is free trade. What I want is not inflation. What I want is a separation of monetary from the state. What I want is for you to be happy. What I want is for me to be happy. What I want is for you to do what you love. What I want is do what I love. What I want is for you to spend time with your kids if you have kids. What I want you to do is do what you love. Things that makes you smile, things that you're willing to just get up every day early because you're excited to do versus shit that you don't want to do, right? Going to stupid jobs, sitting in fucking traffic. Yes, sir. No, sir. Can I take a vacation? Quitting this job to get a better job. It's all the same, man. Every fucking job's the same. When are you going to understand? The job is only for a few people to make millions and get rich while everyone else slaves. That's what a job is. And there used to be a time in America where majority of the people were entrepreneurs. And today we just know J-O-B. J-O-B with a college degree. Thousands in debt, no money in the banking account, got a car loan, got multiple car loans, multiple credit card debt. Just working. Hardly see my kids besides Saturdays or only see my kids on Saturday, only have fun on Saturdays, only go gun range or only go to the bike shop or only go to the bike mountain or only go hiking on the weekends or only on my vacation. Why shouldn't every day be a vacation? I mean, Jesus, why? We live in a world of abundance. Why have we allowed big brothers from all types of the world to control us, with central bankers to control us, with printing of freaking money, enslaving us, man? Being a saver is suicide, dude. I mean, shit, they're printing that shit out. Everyone's working for their money. They're putting it in their bank. The bank's taking risks with it. They're deflating it. They're fractional reserving it. They're doing so much crazy madness with it while everyone's working. And this blows me away, guys. Blows me away. And everyone's trying to get the next 2.0 and not knowing that 3.0 is coming and the 2.0 is as shitty as the 3.0 because the corporations, they have no pride in their products anymore. All they care about is the profits. Guys, thanks for watching. Click the like button. By the way, if you're interested in finding motivated sellers in your backyard, and you want to know what to say to these sellers, how to talk to them, how to do cold calling, how to qualify them, then I highly recommend going to calls.mrnofluff.com. I have a full day seminar pre-recorded. It's 7 hours plus hours of training, and it teaches you with 6 live calls that we make to sellers where we talk to them, we filter them, we negotiate. You can learn and listen live. This is not staged or, fake. This is actually real live with real sellers and us negotiating and hammering out the price with sellers. If you're interested, go to calls at mrnoflip.com. It's revolutionary. No one else has it. This is a $4,000 course right now. You can get it for $297. $297. There's a limited amount of units and limited amount of time before this expires, guys. I just launched this product. It's revolutionary. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Click the like button, share the message. Much love.